Okay, so a couple of things that I find very handy to have around when I'm working on page layouts is pre-made bases of different kinds of things that I can put on my pages. This is all one 12-inch strip, about 1 inch wide. I didn't measure it, but I figure if it fits inside that paper clip, it's good enough to use. And all I did was literally fold it in half. You can do this on your cutter if you are fussy about it. Cut it, fold it in half again, and cut it, fold it in half again, and cut it. And I feel that this just gives enough of um, a length of a flag that if you want it, it pretty much will fit on anything, a card or a layout. So there's kind of like not that many different ways to cut a card. I mean, you could take, you could vary a tag rather, you could vary the slant of the flag and make sure that you cut in on the left side or the right side or the center to kind of give it that shifted look. This is another version of a flag. This is your basic flag, and this is your bunting type style of flag. And they're all very easy to do. You literally just cut into the center and cut from the corner over and cut from the corner over to get this one. This one I just eyeballed, and I decided that I wanted to just cut the corners off. I don't really care if it's absolutely even, just as long as it, whoops, that's really not even. So I maybe care a little bit. There we go. And so there's that tag. And then the square one is just as you see it. And I'm going to use the inside this time. I used the backs and the fronts on these ones. And these now become coordinating because they are the same sort of shape or same color line as your flags. And there you go, and there's your flag. And then all you do is slip it over the long side of a paper clip, and then you're ready to go. And you just glue down the center. I literally just put one strip of glue down the center. So that's one thing you can work on, and just create the bases and don't do anything with them and put them in your filer. These would be cardstock and pattern paper. So these guys are going to be in the cardstock when I finish them. And these guys are going to go into pattern paper. Now I've got two different color lines. So I'm going to, this is mostly green. So in my pattern paper side, I'm going to put my green tags. And in my, I have this turquoise one that is for blacks, whites, beiges, and browns. So that's where I'm going to put these orangey beigey ones. And then they're away and done. And when I get the red ones done, I'll pop them in on the cardstock side. Simple. Done. Now, what can you do with these little bits of tag? Well, I've done a couple up to give you some ideas of how tags can be taken from the basic shape. Oh, I did this one differently, by the way. I rounded the corners on that one. And create simple little tags. This one has a piece of washi across the bottom. You could do a diagonal washi across the whole thing. Here I've got hearts. This was beige paper, and I put washi tape across and tried to alternate the hearts. So this final step of doing something with the tags would be reliant on the colors that are in the layout or on the card as well. Now this one I could take even further, but I'm going to keep it like that in the box because at some point I might want to use that. And you can see that it is thin versus thick. So you have a range of thicknesses that you can use. This is just a straight base. This one I've put 2 buttons. I have a wooden button flower and a wooden button on top of that. Now, what I could do is maybe before I put the buttons on there, I could have done a dotted line around the outside edge, give it a little more, but this to me says basic, and I can go from there to create a tag according to what it is I'm working on. This is a cute little one. It has molded flowers that I made from pre-cut flower bits, and I have that to show you here somewhere. So I cut out petal shapes from my leftovers, and then I mold them when I'm ready to use them. And I've got a little bit of, I don't know what that's called, a little bit of this stuff. It's called, this one's gourd colors anyway, but it's little stymony type things that you can put in your flower. There is a proper name for it, but I don't remember. Got it on a plain brown cardstock, and I just put a little piece of ribbon on the background that coordinates with the tail of the flower. Used alphas to create a little high tag or to do a monogram tag. And certainly I can make this jazzier by glittering the edges or putting some sort of a border around it. And this one is simple. It's a little cardstock ephemera where I cut it out. It was a square, and I cut it out into the circle shape and stuck it on a tag and put a gem in the center of it. I'm losing all my words today. So those are just some ways to take it from that very basic tag and move it into something else that works specifically with the layout that you're working on.